We got to talk about the situation that's going on in Nigeria. Nicki Minaj pretty much is thanking Donald Trump for speaking out on this situation. A very serious crisis is going on in Nigeria concerning Christians being persecuted, real persecution, people literally being put to death. And a lot of us in the United States, we cry about a lot of things, we complain so much, and we don't realize what other people are actually going through in other places in the world. Donald Trump pretty much took it to social media to speak out on the situation, as you can see right here. Donald Trump, he said, Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamics are responsible for this slaughter, this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern, but that is the least of it. When Christians or any such group is slaughtered, like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 verse 44, 4,476 worldwide, something must be done. I'm asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and report back to me. The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. This was posted October 31st, 2025, 2:09 p.m. So we see that President-elect Trump is on the case. It's just sad, guys, when our president is being attacked by people in the United States every single day for every little thing, complaining about this, complaining about that, when his hands is pretty much tied with so many different responsibilities. Imagine the responsibilities you have. You go to work, you take care of your children, you pay your bills, and then that's it. Imagine being the president of the United States and there's problems happening all over the world. You already got a family, you already got your own issues. Then on top of that, to add insult to injury, you got to be thinking about food crisis, EBT, SNAP, worldwide stuff, war, who's talking about this, famine over here, earthquakes, what's going on in Jamaica, what's going on in Nigeria, persecutions. The list goes on and on. You're constantly getting phone calls and emails and press conferences you got to attend to. You got to speak to this group of people. You got to talk to the president of China. You got to talk about this. There's so many different things you got to do. But you folks are complaining. It's amazing. You have to be really talented and gifted to actually have all these different things going on in the world as a president and still have your sanity. Because I would have said, you know what, I'm done. I give up. Somebody else will take this job. So now President Trump is pretty much calling for the Congress Riley Moore and Chairman Tom Cole pretty much to act, get involved, find out what's going on so that they can pretty much do what they need to do. People are literally being put to death, guys, because of their faith. And that shouldn't be like that. If you're a Christian, you should be able to worship, have your own belief, and do that within peace. But people in Nigeria are literally going through hell and hot waters right now. And it's absolute crazy how people are getting unalive. Churches are being burned. All sorts of things is happening, guys. All sorts of things is happening. And it's just absolutely crazy. But here's the thing. Let me read that comment. Somebody says it's in the Bible, though. So if it's in the Bible, that means it's okay? See, here's the thing. These type of atrocities are happening more so outside the U.S. I find that Christians that are Christians outside of the U.S., they're experiencing real persecution, whereas Christians that are within the United States, you're not being persecuted. You want to know the big difference? because people outside of America are actually worshiping God. Let that marinate. I'm going to let it marinate a little bit so you get it. The reason why Nigerians are truly being persecuted, because a lot of them really are worshiping God, for real. Like, they're really doing it. They are really believing and having faith in Jesus Christ. Whereas in America, a lot of Americans are not really following God. We say we do, we attend churches, but these churches, all they want to do is take your money. These pastors aren't preaching the gospel. People are living in sin daily. There's no real righteousness in the land. And this is why over here, you don't see Americans being persecuted. You don't see Americans being unalived because of their faith. You just don't see that happening. But outside of America, people are being unalived for real, for real. Their churches are being burned to the ground. Let me put some news reports up so we can check this out. Give me a minute, guys. Be sure to double tap the screen and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Let's check this out. Let's see what we got.
The Trump administration is being urged to
Hold on.
designate Nigeria a country of particular concern over the persecution and mass murder of Christians. Greg Palcott joins us now. Good morning, Greg.
Hey, Ainsley, that's right. Christians are being singled out and targeted in that country. As the church, some in Washington and elsewhere are making, it is a perilous and a deadly tale. The populous Western African country is, quote, one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a Christian. That's according to the well-regarded Open Doors International Group. Thousands of Christians have been killed there over the years. Churches, schools, homes destroyed, lives uprooted, some even branded genocide. All of this has caught the attention of lawmakers, including Senator Ted Cruz, who wants Nigeria to be designated a country of particular concern with severe violations of religious freedom. Here's what he said this week.
The government in Nigeria is very unhappy, and I've said, look, there are far too many government leaders who have turned a blind eye to what is happening, who have acquiesced in what is happening, who are enforcing either Sharia laws or blasphemy laws and facilitating the persecution of Christians.
Nigeria has blasted this and other attacks, calling them a gross misrepresentation of reality. One analyst says it's less the Nigerian government being in cahoots with those doing harm to Christians, more the inability of the government to protect its citizens. And other analysts say it's more complicated, with those of all faiths being hurt. Christians and Muslims hit by the strict rules and the violence of the Islamist Boko Haram terror group in the north. Mostly Muslim Nigerians who herd livestock, going after mostly Christian farmers for more land in the center of the country. And criminal gangs and anti-government forces taking advantage of the unrest nationwide. Ainsley, earlier this year, Washington approved the sale of $346 million worth of weapons to Nigeria to fight this trouble. For the sake of Christians and all, many are hoping all that goes into the right hands. Back to you.
Absolutely. Such a scary situation. We have to pray for them. Thank you so much, Greg.
So, right there, guys, that's pretty much the news brief about that situation. Let me close this. Give me a minute, guys. Okay, let me stop this. Get this out of the way. All right, let's go back to what Nicki Minaj pretty much was saying. So let me read this thing off the screen. It says, I'm not sure if you could see it. Let me see. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I'm not sure. But it says, rapper superstar Nicki Minaj recently thanked President Donald Trump for shedding light on the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamics are responsible for this mass slaughter. Trump wrote in a post on Truth Social on Friday, the United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. Minaj is open about her Christian faith and said that the president's statement made her feel a deep sense of gratitude, right? So it goes on and it says, reading this made me feel a deep sense of gratitude. We live in a country where we can freely worship God. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion. We don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other, Nicki Minaj wrote. And it's interesting because, here in the United States, we have freedom of religion. We can literally practice whatever religious beliefs we want. And sometimes we get so comfortable with the fact that we're able to freely do this. People could go on the street, they could preach. You got Muslims, they're able to do what they do. Hindus, whatever they want to do, they could do. And we're afforded these freedoms in America. Outside of America is a different story. People will get unalived if they acknowledge Jesus Christ. People are literally really being persecuted, real persecution. See, in America, when you think of persecution, you think of somebody talking about you. That's not persecution. That's not persecution. Somebody talking about you, criticizing you, you're not being persecuted for your faith. That doesn't make no sense. Real persecution involves people dying, people being restricted, people being starved because of their faith and their belief. Our president literally is concerned about Christians, even in Nigeria, to the point where he's literally asking various congressmen and people in high places to look into this matter to find out what can be done. Because with all those people that are being unalived for their faith versus the people that are being unalived all around the world, Nigeria is literally getting crazy right now. It really is getting crazy, guys. Let me see if there's more that we could look into. Let's see what we got. So it says numerous countries all around the world are being affected. Hold on, let me see. Can you guys see this? Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, numerous countries all around the world are being affected by this horror, and it's dangerous to pretend we don't notice. Thank you to the president and his team for taking this seriously. God bless every persecuted Christian. Let's remember to lift them up in prayer, she added. And this is interesting coming from, Nicki Minaj. This is really interesting coming from her because when you think about all of these rappers, you think about all these celebrities, you don't hear none of them speaking out about these issues. It's just like, what happened with Jamaica. There's a lot of destruction. I seen one particular video. It was absolutely amazing. You had two Jamaican men and their house is literally destroyed. Like literally. They're outside. It appears as if though they have two bears. And they're being thankful that they're alive. They're giving praise to God, even though they lost everything, even though they don't have nothing. And they're literally praising God about the whole thing. Not for what happened, but they're showing that they still have a belief in God and they can rebuild. Whereas we in the United States, we can be so ungrateful. If we lose anything, we literally will curse God and get mad at God and blame him for why we're struggling and why we're suffering. But the people in Jamaica was very optimistic about the future. They were like, hey, we're going to rebuild. They're literally drinking a beer in front of their house and it's destroyed. Literally, everything is in ruins and they're still grateful. It's interesting how people outside of America can be grateful. People outside of America can actually really worship God for real and have a true faith. And they're being unalived. People are literally dying. We need to learn from this type of stuff. We need to learn what real persecution look like. We need to also learn about how to react when there is suffering in the world. How to respond when people don't understand our belief. If you want to believe in Jesus Christ and live righteous, why would someone want to unalive you? Why would someone want to hurt your family because you choose to live righteous? Why would someone want to persecute you because you don't want to believe in their religion? And this is what Nigerians are facing right now. And I'm glad that Trump is actually speaking on these issues because with all the hate that he received, as if though he's not a good president, he's not doing nothing, I would want to see which one of you want his job. I want to see which one of you guys can actually go out there and deal with all of these issues, right? Because I don't think I'm qualified to do that. I don't think I got the energy and the patience to be dealing with all these issues all over the world as a president and have to be literally everywhere. He got to be in China negotiating this. He got to be over here. He got to be preventing war. He got to be focusing on this. Like, he's doing all these things. Most of you folks, you don't have to do anything but go to work, come home, and pay your bills. And yet, what we do is we lash out at the president when we don't get our way, when we need to be doing what we need to do in our lives. We need to really be thankful that we're in America. We really need to be thankful for the fact that we're here. For some reason, it's like we're not thankful about that. When we look at other people dying in Nigeria for their faith, you ought to be, number one, thankful that you're even allowed to practice your faith. Other people are not even allowed to do that. Imagine if we were not allowed in the United States to believe in Jesus Christ. Imagine that. Now, there's coming a time. There's coming a time, because it's written up in the scriptures. There's coming a time where in the United States, it's going to be under some sort of leadership, and they are not going to allow you to have a faith in Jesus Christ at all. And people are going to be put to death. It is what it is. Somebody said, take that evil hat off. I didn't know a hat that says make America great again was evil. And if it's evil, then Trump would be evil. And if Trump was evil, why would Trump care about what's going on in Nigeria? I think the true evil is you. I think you're evil. I think anyone that is mad at this hat, you're evil. You're evil because you don't want to see progress with the American people. You don't want to see people join together. You don't want to see Trump actually save the people in Nigeria, because you would think Nigeria would be taking care of its own. You would think the people in Nigeria would solve their own problems. But no, the problems are so severe that Trump have to get involved. And thankfully, he was able to listen. And this is why Nicki Minaj is literally giving him thanks and praise for his part in saying something about the matter. Unlike you, who sit around just focusing on MAGA all day and being full of hate, you ain't doing anything to help anyone else. And that's what's so sick about you haters of Trump, is that all you do is execute hate. That's all you exhibit is hate. You don't do anything to build a community. You just live for hating people. That's it. And it's dumb, Now, let me read some more of this. So it goes on, it says, U.S. ambassador to the United States nations, Mike Waltz, thank Minaj for using he says, quote, using your platform to speak out in defense of Christians being persecuted in Nigeria. Now think about this, guys. We wouldn't even know this. We wouldn't even know this if Nicki Minaj was not keeping up with the signs of the times, figuring out what's going on in the world. She ain't have to do all of that. With her celebrity, she could have just stayed quiet and figured, hey, I'm getting my money. I don't care about nothing else, and I don't care about nobody. But no, she used her platform. She used her platform to speak out about this, and it ended up getting the attention of Trump. You understand? It ended up getting the attention of Trump. Somebody said in the comments, Trump, not a Christian. Who cares what Trump is or isn't? It's people like you that make America horrible. People like you. So let me get this straight. So Trump, in your mind, have to be a Christian in order for you to even like him? What kind of racist nonsense is that? What kind of world we live in where in order for us to even take anybody serious or even treat them good, they gotta be a Christian? You're doing the same thing that is being done to the Nigerians. You're doing the same thing. You're literally persecuting Trump. Oh, he's not even a Christian. I could just imagine how much hate is in people in America if you don't follow a certain religious or a certain belief system. It's sick, right? So now it goes on and it says, quote, we cannot allow this to continue. Waltz added, even every brother and sister of Christ must band together and say enough. And if people really are believers in Jesus Christ, you're supposed to band together. But in the United States, people never band together. We don't band together at all. There's so much hatred here on U.S. soil. You can't even have conversations about real issues in the public without people getting mad. Rather than people focusing on the issue, people are more focused on the hat. They don't even care that Trump is literally getting involved to solve the problems that is going on with these people dying. Are you dying? Are you being persecuted for your faith in America? Are people putting you to death in America? No, they're not. But in Nigeria, they're putting people to death. And people are more mad that Trump want to intervene and get involved in that situation. Because you're so selfish, you'll look at it like, well, he ain't doing nothing for us Americans over here. Why he ain't doing nothing for us? Why don't he do something for us over here? He's busy going over there to Nigeria talking about this, talking about that. What about our problem? Why don't you solve your problems? Why don't you solve your problems in your city, in your town, in your country, in your state? Why don't you solve it and stop being a hater? You're just complaining about all sorts of stuff, complaining about food, complaining about bills, while people out here are literally dying. People are dying for their faith. Are you dying for your faith? A lot of you so-called quote-unquote Christians that are in the U.S. that claim you got Jesus Christ in your life. Would you die for your faith? No, you won't. The minute somebody come up to you, you'll renounce Jesus Christ. The minute somebody put a gun to you, you'll renounce your faith. You know why? Because you don't believe in Jesus Christ. The Nigerian people are actually really worshiping God, and that is why they're being persecuted. Because if they were not really worshiping God, nobody would care. Nobody would care. When you see real persecution of people dying, that is a sign of the times that those people are truly worshiping God. And that's why they're hated so much. And it's sick to see this type of stuff. And yet we in America, all we doing is complaining all day long when we got people really hungry, really hungry. Now listen, we're not just talking about persecution. We're talking about hunger, real hunger. And yet these people still worshiping God? Think about that. You got people in other nations that worship God, believe in Jesus Christ, and don't got no food to eat. And here we are in the United States crying about EBT, crying about, oh, Trump, Trump, Trump. Oh, I'm suffering. Oh, no, where's my money? Where's my money? And these people have been starving for months. Starving. Real starvation. And at the same time, they're still praying to God. You got to be a strong person, man, to be starving and still have faith in God, even while you're being persecuted and put to death. That's some strong faith. And somebody be like, man, I don't know if I can deal with that. I don't know if I can handle that type of stuff. You know, I don't know if I'll be able to get through that. And yet Trump is involved in trying to solve this problem. And folks still don't care. They don't even care about the situation. It's sickening, man. Absolutely sickening. Hey, shout out to Joyce. Shout out to Joyce. Joyce for the major support. $199 support says peace and joy to you, Rango. Hey, I appreciate the love and the support sponsoring the show. May you have a blessed day for your support. It's much appreciative. And I'm sure the haters are going to be mad at that once again. Just like Alexandra yesterday, she supported the show crazy heavy. And people literally got mad at me just because of that. So shout out to you for the support. Let me see what the chat is saying. And guys, if you just read the chat, this is a serious situation. And yet we in the United States, we take everything for a joke. We figure, well, who cares about Nigeria? That's their problems. Who cares? What's going on in Nigeria will be in the United States according to biblical prophecy. It'll be in the United States. And the leader that will be in charge, in whom you think it's Trump, it's not Trump. Trump is not the Antichrist. No matter how much you folks are saying Trump is the Antichrist, Trump is this and that. No, he's not. The true dictator that's going to be in the U.S., that's going to be ruining this nation and going to cause both small and great to receive the mark of the beast on their hand or on their forehead, is going to be a real tyrant, a real demonic influence that will, the people are going to love him, to be honest with you. The people truly going to love him. That's how you know that it's not Trump. Because according to the Bible, the leader that will be in power in the United States in that time is going to be a man that the world is going to love. Everybody's going to love this guy. He's going to be the man of peace. Everybody going to love him. The whole earth is going to love this guy. And he's going to literally cause all of you folks to take up the mark of the beast. And if you look at it, a lot of people are literally haters of Trump. They're haters of America. And it just doesn't make sense. I mean, just look at the live chat. You have all these people. Oh, you're chatting garbage. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. Bunch of name calling, racist stuff, this, that, all this other stuff. That's America, guys. That's the people of America. And what I've learned is that in order for America to be great again, all of these hateful people, those people got to go. That's the only way. If not, America can never be great again. It's too much hate in the world, too much evil in the world, too much people are dying around the world. And it's like Americans have no compassion whatsoever. Americans have become so selfish, full of themselves. They don't care about nobody else but themselves. Nobody speaks about anything. I'm glad Nicki Minaj actually brought this up. She brought this up on her platform. Let me go to her Instagram and see exactly what's going on there. Give me a minute, guys. Let me do this real quick. Okay. Let me go to Nicki Minaj. Let me see. Nicki. See what her post is saying. Nicki. What is her page? I don't know if her name is spelled the same way. Let me see. Is this it? Is it Pretty in Pink? I don't know. Is that her? Let me see. I don't know if this is her page. No. I don't know what the hell is her Instagram. I never been to her Instagram. So I don't even know what her Instagram is. Let me see. Is this it? I don't know. I don't know her page because I don't follow her. So who cares about that, guys? I don't follow Nicki Minaj's page. So I don't know what her Instagram is. But let me see what the chat is saying. Let me see. And guys, when you see the live chat full of weird people, that represents the evil that is in America. That's the evil that's in the world. Imagine walking through a crowd, guys, and you're wearing this hat, and you got all these people around you. You would have to have guns with you to put people down because these are violent people. These people are evil. This is pure evil, guys. And you're wondering why people in Nigeria are being unalive. Think about the evil people that we have in America right here that will unalive you for wearing this hat, guys. Literally, they'll unalive you. That's how much hatred they have for Trump. It's an evil, sick world, guys. Very, very evil and sick. So let me see this thing here. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to get. Let me go back to the news report. So it goes on, that particular article that we was reading. It says, where we at? Okay, all right. Even being conservative, it's probably 4,000 to 8,000 Christians killed annually. This is what they're saying on the website, guys. Walker, Trump's ambassador designate for international religious freedoms, told Fox News Digital this has been going on for years, from East ISWAP to Islamic Fallen Ethnic Militias. Hold on, the screen just moved. Give me a minute. Where the hell we were? And the Nigerian government has to be more proactive. See, if the Nigerian government is not doing anything about this, right, then this is why Trump have to come in and actually deal with the situation. So it says Trump says he has directed Republican Riley Moore, Tom Cole, and members of the House of Appropriations Committee to investigate the situation and report findings to him. So he's pretty much going to take action about what's happening and hopefully something get done. I'm sure there's a lot of Nigerians in America. They know about this situation. You have a lot of Nigerian Americans who are here and they are believers in Jesus Christ as well. Some of them has fled Nigeria just so they can be able to express their religious beliefs and achieve the American dream. It says the president also said that he would designate Nigeria's a country of particular concern. According to the U.S. Commission of International Religious Freedoms, in countries with that designation, the government has engaged in a tolerated, particularly severe violations of religious freedom. So the people who are literally running Nigeria, they don't even care about the situation, guys. Imagine you're there and your leaders don't even care. So you don't have no hope. You're just done. So people are literally being tormented now. They can't even have a faith in Jesus Christ. So let me get this straight. So if you're in Nigeria and you want to believe in Jesus Christ, people will unalive you. But if you don't want to believe in Jesus Christ, it's okay. They leave you alone. That's real persecution, man. That's real persecution, right? Be sure to subscribe to the channel, guys. Double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, guys, right? So it says the government has engaged in tolerated, particularly severe violations of religious freedoms, which is defined as systematic, ongoing, and egregious violations of religious freedom. This comes from the 1998 International Religious Freedom Act. So these folks, guys, are literally struggling. Not only their religious freedoms are taken away, but also hunger, starvation, all sorts of things is happening, guys. And it's just really, really bad. And I know a lot of times we want Trump to focus on things that are happening here. And the thing is, he is focusing on things happening here. In order for America to be great again, guys, if you put all of this on Trump to do, nothing will ever get done. I think one of the biggest problems with Americans is that we're some of the most wicked, selfish people on the planet. In every other nation and every other country, the people understand that it's not the government, it's the people. If the people don't do what they got to do to make their land great, to make everything right, nothing's going to happen. If you put everything on Trump got to do everything. Trump got to solve this. Trump got to solve that. What the heck you think Trump is? Chat GBT? You folks think Trump is Chat GBT. You can just type it in and get a response. Y'all weird to believe this mess. How could one man solve all the problems all over the world while we the people sit around all day complaining? What are you doing about the problems in your community? What are you doing about your own issues? What problems have you solved in your own life? What are you doing? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're just sitting around complaining all day, looking for someone to blame so that you can make more excuses. Because even if Trump is not the president, you're going to blame the next president and the next president and the next president. Why? Because Americans are lazy. We don't want to work. We want everything for free. Listen, you got a lot of people talking about the EBT crisis, talking about how the EBT beneficiaries need to go work. Well, what about you when it comes to you doing your part in the United States to make America great again? What are you doing to solve problems? Or are you just creating more? The first problem that a lot of you have is that you're full of hate. There's no love in your heart whatsoever. You come to social media to be evil, but you don't do that in the workplace. Do you folks go to your job and be this evil when it comes to the way you respond and the way you conduct yourself online? Do you be in the workplace trolling coworkers, laughing at coworkers, mocking coworkers, being disrespectful to supervisors? You don't do that when you're at your job. So when you do that on social media, what it tells me is this is who you really are. This is the kind of person you are. But when you're at work, you're being fake. Why? Because you want a paycheck. If you're really this way, be this way to your supervisor. Be this way to the people that control how much money you earn. You won't do that. And this is why America has so many problems. This is why the United States is struggling. It's because its people are ungodly. I don't ever hear about Americans being persecuted. I don't hear about Americans being unalive because they believe in Jesus Christ. This is happening only in other countries. And it's not just Nigeria. You got various other countries where people can't even believe in Jesus Christ, or else they'll get killed for it. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy. You know? Absolutely crazy that people are literally getting unalive for stuff like this. So let's see what we got. Nigeria is the most dangerous nation on earth to follow Christ. Quote, that's crazy. The House Appropriations Committee said in a statement. Now imagine that, guys. Nigeria is the most dangerous nation on earth to follow Christ. And yet you folks are complaining about petty stuff. Petty stuff. And yet, if you live in Nigeria, it's the most dangerous place to serve Christ. That's wild. Absolutely wild. You know, you're more concerned about a ballroom rather than going out there and be somebody. Imagine that. You're concerned about Donald Trump building a ballroom rather than you go out in the world and be an example to the world. Why is it that Americans are so materialistic and petty that you guys focus on all the wrong things? If he want to build a ballroom, that's his business. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what does that have to do with you? What does that have to do with you? I know what it does. You feel entitled to something. You want his money. Why don't you go out there and work, get a job, and become a billionaire? Why don't you go out there and do that? Let's see how much balls you got to go out there and make something of yourself. You won't ever become nothing because you're a loser. And that's the problem. When you're busy watching everybody else grow, watching everybody else success, and you're mad at their success, you're mad at their results, you got demons in you. You got a problem, you know? You worrying about dumb stuff. People in Nigeria being persecuted and dying. And you're not even concerned about that. You're more concerned about a ballroom. Who cares? Who cares about a ballroom? You know? Doesn't make no sense, right? So now, let's see what's going on here. Right. So it says Nigeria is the most dangerous nation on earth to follow Christ. The House Appropriations Committee said in a statement, for simply practicing their faith, Christians are actively being kidnapped, attacked, and slaughtered. Now imagine being kidnapped, attacked, and slaughtered, guys. With President Trump announcing he will be, redesignating Nigeria as a country of particular concern, the United States is making it clear in one resolute voice, religious persecution will not be tolerated. Now, if Trump was this horrible person, why would he even be concerned with this? You know? Why would he even be concerned with what's going on? He would just say, forget Nigeria, you know? He would say, forget these people. Let them just go ahead and suffer. But no, he see that this is a great concern, you know, because these are Christians. And if he was against Christians, he wouldn't even care. And that's the problem, right? So now, let's see. Okay, making clear Christian violation. Where we at? I lost my position of where I was. Okay, religious persecution will not be tolerated. The scourge of anti-Christian violence and oppression of other religious minorities by radical Islamic terrorists in an effort to religious freedom, in an affront to religious freedom. This is a crucial step to mobilizing leadership and attention to confront evil extremism. And see, you folks don't have to deal with none of this type of stuff because, you know, when you look at the trolls and you look at the people that be in the live chat, it just makes you get depressed with what's going on in America. I mean, imagine if these are the people that are Americans, bro. And this is how they communicate. They're not even busy with a job. They're not busy with their family. They're not busy with nothing. They come to my channel to be in my live chat, losing their minds. You got to think about that. Like, what's going on in their brain cells? What's going on in their what's wrong with people? They're crazy, guys. People are evil. They're full of hate. They're full of demons, you know? There's a lot of people who don't like to see you look good, dress good, have nice things. They want to destroy you if you're doing good, if you're happy, if you're at peace. Some people can't stand seeing you at peace. They want to disturb your peace. You know? It's just sick. There's a lot of sick people in this live chat, guys. Nobody is even concerned with the issue. They're just a gang stalking, a whole mob of demons. Just look at this madness. How much are y'all paid to troll these chats? I want to know how much money they being paid, because it's like these people are here every day, and they're here when I put on this hat. When I do regular streams and I'm wearing a different hat, nobody shows up. It's like AI bots show up when I have on this hat, and they start losing their minds. Right? Let me see some of these crazy comments. Okay. He's being paid. Everything is always somebody's being paid. He's being paid. Please realize that they have been taught this behavior. Yeah, I get $100K a year to troll your chat. What I mean, I must be somebody. If you're being paid $100K to troll my chat, I must be a brilliant guy that is that important that you would waste your life being here. Anyway, let's get back to the content. So it says, let's see, making it clear, Christian violence and oppression of the religious minorities by radical Islamic terrorists in an affront to religious freedom. This is a critical step to mobilize in leadership and attention to confront evil extremism. It goes on and it says, the committee vowed that once the government shutdown is over, its members will continue moving full year appropriations across the finish line to uphold your priorities. Okay, so that's about it, guys, with that. I'm glad Nicki Minaj pretty much shouted out the president in this situation, because with all this hatred that's out here, guys, man, it's difficult being an American when so many Americans are anti-American. And this is why we have to combat enemies, both foreign and domestic. A lot of people that are in America are not really Americans. They're not pro-America. They're anti-American freedom. They're anti-Trump. They're anti-peace, anti-prosperity. They're just anti-God. It's just really sick, guys. And this is why we have to stay prayed up, especially when you're a believer in Jesus Christ. You have to make sure that you're praying all the time, because there's so many people, man, that are full of evil spirits, and their intentions is not good at all. A lot of people are just evil. This is why I try my best to stay away from humans as much as I can. People think that I'm rude. People think that I'm just a bad guy because I just don't want to associate with nobody. Nah, I'm protecting myself from evil people. Once I realize that somebody is showing signs of evil, they got some demons on them, some sort of dark cloud, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. I could see the devil on people. It's clear as day. It's like when you got when you have the Holy Spirit in you, you can see the demons that are on people. When you truly have the Spirit of God in your heart, you could look at people a mile away and be like, that person is full of the devil. I can't be around this stuff. I don't even want to have a conversation with you because I know your intentions is evil. Your heart is evil. You're just an evil person. You're sick. I don't even want to be near you, you know? Really, really serious, man. So at the end of the day, guys, we're going to get up on out of here. It is what it is. Somebody says anti-MAGA is pro-American freedom. If you want to be, listen, when you really think about it, guys, the hatred that you have for America, why are you still living in America? What solutions do you have? It seems that hate is the only virtue you have. Like, it's just hate. You probably had a bad upbringing. You said, why did I flee my homeland? What homeland? I was born in America. My father is American. He's a military vet. What do you mean, flee my homeland? What are you talking about? I've been born in America. This is where I belong. I don't know where people be coming up with this type of stuff. And then when you talk about blacks that are in America, blacks were put into slavery and brought to America. So it's like, you're not making any sense about why did you flee. You're not making any sense, right? A lot of these people are not educated folks, guys. They're just not educated people. But hey, we invite all the trolls to show up and just be goofy, because while you here wasting your time, you're literally making this show great again, because all you do is come in here and voice nothing but negative energy. And all I'm going to do is just be positive, stay at peace, continue to do the content, and make America great again. Because at the end of the day, I'm all about solutions. The hate that you folks keep displaying, it shows me what kind of life you live. It's a life of misery, a life of pain. You just want to be angry all day. You know, a lot of you live around people like this. Your neighbors are angry all day. Your friends and family is angry all day. They're just miserable people. And I don't recommend you associate yourself with miserable people. I just don't. So guys, double tap the screen and give it a thumbs up. Why is this person saying, are you Jamaican? Like, what? Where are you? Listen, you guys got to stop listening to these YouTube videos and stop listening to all these people. Are you Jamaican? First they said I'm Haitian, then they said I'm Trinidadian. Now they're saying I'm Jamaican. You folks are weird. Anyway, guys, rate, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the mods in the chat. I see you guys in the building. Appreciate y'all stopping by. And also, shout out to Joyce again for the $200 support for the platform. Much appreciated. We're very grateful. Guys, if you can be so kind, again, double tap the screen, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in the next video. I'm out of here, guys. Y'all take care. Peace and blessings. Stay safe.